This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So I was talking about this IT industry, and in IT industry, basically there are two major departments. One is the development department, and another one is the testing department. Okay. Now, apart from this, what are the things required for the testing? Okay. Now we are going deep dive into the testing department, not in the development department. Why? The reason is this course is basically for a testing only, and testing a software basically is a kind of art. Okay, everyone like doesn't have that art to how to test the application. So that's why this particular course is designed, so that the other person avail this particular testing art, and they can test the application in the IT industry. Okay, that is the one. Now let me erase this one first. Let me erase this one. Now the next thing is like testing. So basically I am deep and diving in the case of testing department. A case of testing department, or simple testing, we can say software testing. Okay, now in the case of this software testing, okay, the software testing basically has a two different parts. One is the manual testing and another one is the automation testing. Has their own different two parts. One is manual and another one is the automation. Okay, now what is manual and what is automation? So it's a very simple English language. Manual means whatever the software testing is like performing by manual. That is the case of the manual software testing. And whatever the things which does not require any manual intervention, that is a automation. Okay, so the both the things like manual and automation, both the things give us the same result, but the way to perform the software testing is different. So if you talk about the manual testing, so the way to test the software is a quite different, that is by the manually done. And this automation basically is the way is different, that is done by using the writing, by using the Java code. Okay, or you can say programming code. This will give me a result. What kind of result it will give? It will give me a pass fail result. Pass fail result. So what is pass fail result? So suppose you have tested an application. Okay, so either your application will pass or either your application will fail. Okay, so from manual testing or from automation testing, we will get the same result. We will get the same kind of result, either a pass, either a fail. Okay, so how we perform manual testing and how we perform automation testing in a case of software industry, so that is a part of the learning here. Okay, so in a case of the like manual testing, you have to first of all follow a kind of a cycle. Okay, and that basically cycle name is called as a software development life cycle. Okay, so there is a basically a kind of cycle which is followed in the IT industry, that is called as a software development life cycle, SDLC. Okay, so this basically the software development life cycle involves the development as well as the testing. Okay, involve the development as well as the testing. So there are the different number of SDLC models are there, which you will learn in future, or which you can say as a part of the course. Okay, you can say that. So what are the different SDLC cycle means software development life cycle available in the IT industry? So first very traditional SDLC model is waterfall model. Second one is your it's your spiral model. Third one is your hybrid, not hybrid. Third one is the V model. Fourth one is your prototype model. Fifth one is your hybrid model. And sixth one is your, which is very important and trending in the market, that is agile methodology. Okay, so these all are model, but the sixth one is methodology. Okay, so basically these are the SDLC process, you can say, or these are the SDLC approaches by which we can develop and test the software. By which we can develop and test the software. So in the SDLC, basically developer are also working and the tester are also working. As I already explained you in the beginning of the session, like in the IT industry, there's a two-part, development and the testing. So how the developer and tester are working together to build a software, so that will be only possible by a SDLC, software development life cycle. So in this cycle, basically one requirement is gathered and the developer is basically developing that particular requirement as a part of the application, and on the other hand, basically the tester are also testing. So once the tester is finished testing the application, after that, like, he will be okay, like this application is passed, so that particular application will be given to the particular client. Okay, so that is a whole scenario basically working in the IT industry. And among them, like, your responsibility as a test engineer will be testing the application manually or the automation. Okay, that is the part. So if you want to take down this, you can take, otherwise I will remove.
Yeah, I take a screenshot of it.
Yeah, so have you taken or not taken?
Taken, sir.
Okay, taken. So let me erase this one. So yeah, so the next thing is, like, what will be your role as a test engineer in the IT company? So your role will be a manual testing or a automation testing. Remember, your role will be manual testing and automation testing. Manual and automation testing. Automation testing. Okay, so let me just 1 minute. So your role will be manual and automation. Manual and automation testing. Okay, so in the manual and automation testing, basically one question is coming to your mind, like, which one is good, manual or automation? So my answer to this question is manual and automation both are good, and both has a huge scope in the IT industry. Okay, how? I will explain you. So let's take an example of one IT company. Okay, let's take an example of one IT company called as Infosys. Called as Infosys. You can call it as a Infosys. Okay, and another company is a HDFC. HDFC. Okay, HDFC. So HDFC is a bank and Infosys is a IT company. So HDFC basically is a client of Infosys. Okay, and basically Infosys is an IT company who will make a software, or who will make a product for the HDFC. Okay, so how the transition will happen? Kindly observe it here. So what will happen? Basically, HDFC asks Infosys for a software. Okay, so Infosys will send a BA. Infosys will send a BA. Infosys will send a BA. What is BA? So a BA is a business analyst who is required to gather the requirement from the client. from the client. So Infosys hired like 2 or 3 business analysts who will be responsible to go to the client location and gather the requirement. Okay, that is the point. Now the BA will go to the client location and gather the requirement and come back to Infosys. Come back to Infosys. Okay. Now, whatever the requirement BA has gathered, that all the requirements are discussed among the 5 amigos. What is amigos? Basically, you can call it as a 5 persons, 5 important persons. Okay, in the Infosys. Okay, so what will be the 5 persons? I will tell you. So in the Infosys, basically, the 5 persons may be the the first one is the developer. Okay, you can say second one is the project manager. Okay, architect. Okay, architect. Okay, HR and finance. So these are the persons, these are the 5 amigos are responsible to discuss about the requirement which are gathered by the BA. Okay, so basically what happened here in this, BA is also there. Okay, BA is also there in this discussion. So basically, in this particular discussion, like what happened, like whatever the requirement gathered by the BA, that will be discussed within all of us. Okay, and discuss like whether this requirement can be achievable by our available resources or technologies or not. Okay, once they will discuss, yeah, this will be possible, whatever the requirement BA or a business analyst gathered from the HDFC, that will be possible by our company. So after that only it will assign to the developer. Okay, so after the discussion, basically it will assign to the developer this particular requirement. This particular requirement assigned to the developer. Okay, and developer start basically developing the application. Okay, once the application is developed, then this particular application is given to whom? Given to tester. So either manual tester or either automation tester. So think and look at this diagram and tell me which one is more important, manual or automation. From this diagram, what do you think?
Developer. Automation.
So from this diagram, basically, if you see, HDFC is a client and Infosys is the IT company, and Infosys talk about the requirement what is gathered by BA, and basically whatever the requirement they have gathered, they have discussed whether this requirement is possible by our company or not, and given to the developer. Developer start developing the application. After the application is being developed, that application is given to tester. Now it's tester choice whether they opt manual or automation testing. Okay, so now in this particular, from this diagram or from this picture, it is very clear that manual or automation testing has same scope. Okay, so it's tester choice whether he is going for a manual testing or whether he is going for automation testing. So it completely depends on the application, how the application is, whether application is stable or not, or if the application is stable, then the particular tester will go for the automation, go for the man. Okay, but the testing will be of the same, testing scope will be of same. Like this is an application and you need to test this application in next 7 days, and you need to give us the quality product. Okay, so developer responsibility is to develop the application. Developer responsibility is not to check the application. Tester responsibility is to test the application as per the requirement. Tester responsibility is to test the application as per their requirement. Whose requirement? So HDFC requirement. Okay, that's why tester is the very important person in the IT company who is responsible to give the quality product to the client. Okay, so what is a cycle here? Let me explain you once more. So basically, what is the mechanism happening in the IT industry? So suppose this is a IT, Infosys, the IT company who basically create a software for a client. Okay, so HDFC will give the requirement to Infosys by the help of business analyst, and Infosys basically discuss about the requirement, whether the requirement is achievable or not. Okay, the now next thing is, if this is achievable, then it will given to the developer. Okay, so in the developer basically there are different basically the persons are available, responsible means. In the developer, architect is there. Architect means like before the development of any house also, you need to take a help of a civil engineer or an architect. So that person will only give you the architecture of your house, and then after that the basically the different persons will be responsible to make up house. Okay, so in the software also, architect plays a very big role. Okay, so first architect will design a structure of that application, and after that the senior developer will be responsible to give the logic. After giving the logic, basically the now next developers is responsible for coding. Okay, so these are the different persons are responsible in a development process. Once this is developed, and the application will be given to the tester, and tester responsibility is to test the application as per the requirement given by HDFC, and the same application will be given to the HDFC client, and the HDFC client will be happy. Why he is happy? Because the tester tests the application from different perspective, so that the HDFC requirement will be fulfilled. So suppose a certain kind of application is giving to the tester for testing, and that particular application has 10 features. Okay, I will explain you what is feature, what is component, each and everything, don't worry about that. But let's assume, like, I have given a application to the tester, and that application has a 10 features. Out of 10 features, 5 are working and 5 are not working. Okay, so what tester will do? Tester will give that application back to the developer. Developer will basically fix the 5 features which were not working, and again given back to the tester. Tester again tests the whole 10 features, whether it is working properly or not. If it is working properly, then it will deliver to the client. Otherwise, it will revert back to the developer. So that is the whole cycle is working as a part of the SDLC, you can say. Okay, so is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So any questions so far? So you can ask me.
No, nothing, sir. You can go on.
Okay. Okay, so can you tell me, so I am asking you one question. Can you tell me what is Infosys here?
Infosys is doing the role of business analyst who is developing the test. It is a part of the developer, right? I mean, HDFC for, requirement is given to the Infosys.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Building
and
software.
BA, basically business analyst, is a part of Infosys or HDFC? What do you say?
It is a part of Infosys.
Yes, it's a
Think.
part of the Infosys. Yes, and who are they? Who are they? Dev, PM, architect, HR, finance. Who are they?
Finance. They all are the person who giving the role to the developer about the testing.
So
Is it?
before giving the particular requirement to the developer, before that, what they will do? These persons.
They will analyze everything about HDFC
Yes, they will analyze about the HDFC requirement, whether it
requirement.
is achievable. Yeah, whether it is achievable by our available resources and technology or not. So available resources means what? Like Resources means what? Like whatever the available developer engineers, or you can say test engineers. So in suppose Infosys has a 10 developers and 10 testers. So these person has to check whether these persons will able to do that particular requirement or not. That is as per the resource point of view. The next point is the technology, whether we have a available set of technology in our company or not to develop the particular kind of application. Okay, so that is a part. Now the next part is how the tester will perform testing. How the tester will perform the testing. So tester will perform manual testing or automation testing. So let's more focus upon the manual testing, and then after that we will more focus on the automation testing. Okay, so you can take this one, and after that like we will talk about manual testing.
Taken, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me erase this one. Yeah, let me erase. Yeah, now the next thing is just deep and dive in manual testing. Okay, so basically the manual testing is only be done once the application will be given to you. That is a point number one. Manual testing will be possible or will be done once the application is given to you. That is the first point. Second point is manual testing can also be possible once only the requirement is given in a form of interactive document. Okay, so when application is given, now the next thing is manual testing is possible when requirement is given in form of interactive document. Interactive document, that is a part of API that I will cover later. Okay, so what I am trying to say it here, like manual testing can be possible when application is given. So let's suppose I will give you www.gmail.com. Suppose I will give you www.gmail.com, https://www.gmail.com. This application I have given to you. So what you will do, you will basically go to the Chrome browser and hit www.gmail.com, and then you will log in into the system. So for logging into the system, you will have a username and password, then only you will log in, otherwise you will not log in. Okay, so username and basically password. Username and password. So after giving the username and password, click on login, then you will get inside the application, and after that like you can test the application whether it is working properly or not. Okay, so that is the first point, that is the first box what I am trying to say. The next part is like when the application is not giving, when only the requirement is given to you, as similar to the developer, like how the developer got the requirement for the development, like in the same way the tester will also get a requirement only in a form of the interactive document, and from that document like you can perform the test. So how this will be possible? So that is a part of the API testing. Manual API testing, you can say. Okay, so manual testing can be of the two types. One, the application manual testing, and another way is API manual testing. And these two things can also be possible with automation testing. That is a further part of the discussion. Okay, now The next thing is how we perform manual testing on any daily life exam. So before going ahead for a software testing, let's take a daily life exam. Okay, let's take a daily life example. Let's take a bottle. Okay, so can you tell me how can you test a bottle from your experience? Like before going to any market, before purchasing a bottle, what are the things you look for?
Better quality.
Exactly. The
It's a
first point is
structure.
better quality. So, second is
Yeah. Structure.
just 1 minute. Let me write what are the points you are saying here. 1 minute. Yeah. First one is the quality. Second is your
Yeah.
structure.
It's a structure.
Structure next.
It's a modification. I mean, how can we modify as per the requirement?
How you can modify a bottle before purchasing it? It is already modified. It is
I mean,
already developed and tested already.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you are a
Mm,
customer. You are a customer. Okay. And
yes,
like you are going for a shopping in a mall and you want to purchase a bottle. So what are the things you look for before purchasing? That I'm asking. First is quality. Second is structure. Now next.
mm, that's it.
Okay, that's it. So I will tell you more things as well also. Like you need to check.
Okay.
You need to check basically the thickness of bottle. You need to check the cap of bottle. Cap should be basically fixed.
Yeah, Cap,
You need
cap is
you yeah. You need to check bottle.
seal or not?
Yeah, that is covered in the cap only. Now next is you need to
Okay.
check like whether bottle plastic quality, like yeah, in a quality also it is covered. Now you need to check bottle capacity. Okay, you need to check bottle capacity like 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, like this. Mm, you need to check whether bottle is stand properly or not. You need to check whether bottle should not roll. Bottle should not roll on a surface. Roll on a surface. Okay, and yeah. So these are the things basically you need to check before purchasing a bottle. That is the point. Now, what are these things? These are the test cases. These are the test cases which you will follow before purchasing a product. Okay. Now let's collaborate the same thing with the software. Okay. So suppose you are working in an IT company and HSBC or HDFC will give you a requirement. Okay. Will give a requirement that I want a software which will perform some transaction, which will perform some transaction means that particular software should able to send the money from one person to another. That is a requirement. Okay, so you as a tester, how you will test? So you will basically think different number of aspects. What customer aspect, what customer think, मतलब कि आप जो है प्रोडक्ट को टेस्ट करने से पहले आप अपने दिमाग में वो सारे पॉइंट सोचोगे जो कि एक कस्टमर प्रोडक्ट को यूज करने से पहले सोचता है. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? You need to figure out all such cases, what the customer will think before buying or before using the product. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So exactly like in the software, suppose if you have a feature to send the money from one person to another, so in that case you have to think like if I give a valid account number in the to and if I give the valid account number in the from, and if I give the valid amount in the amount section, if I click on send, so my amount will send to that person. Okay, that will be the one of the test case. Second test case may be like you have to give invalid account number and it should not accept and it should not send the money. That is a second account number. So whatever the users will basically use the particular application in a same manner, you have to think. That is the role of a test engineer in the IT company. So how you will basically excel in this particular part? So you will have to take a manual testing course, and inside that course you will have a different number of topics which you need to cover, and once you will cover, then you will be able to test the any software, whether it is a desktop software or whether it is a web software. Any software you will be able to test, and when you are able to test, then your value in the IT market will increase from 0 to 100. And when you achieve this at a 100 level, then any IT company will willing to hire you. Okay, so that is the point here, what everyone should understand. Okay, so similarly, like in the application also, we need to think the different number of test cases. Okay, so far any confusion?
No, sir.
No confusion. Okay. Do you want to take down this one?
Yes, sir. Did it.
Yeah, take down. Done.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay. So let me erase this one. Now let's talk about some application. Okay, because today is a introduction part, so I am telling you all the things what we are generally doing in the IT company. That's the same thing I'm telling you, so that you will get confidence. Like, okay, this will be the work I will do also, and basically from this you will get a confidence, and then you will able to do this particular course. So let me show you a simple application. Okay, let me navigate back to my Chrome browser. Okay, now in the Chrome browser, let me navigate to your Orange HRM. Orange HRM is one of the HR management software which is generally used for the manual testing practice. Okay, so open source demo.orangehrmlive.com. So that is used for the manual testing part, manual testing understanding. So I'm just taking a sample application for you, but in the course, basically I will take a live application. I will not take a sample application. So what I will do here, I have to give a correct username and correct password and click on login. That is the first test case we have. So this is my application. Suppose this is my web-based application. As you can see, this is a basically the web-based application, and this is a basically web application I need to test. So before like testing the application, you need to first understand the requirement. You need to first understand the requirement, and how you will get the requirement basically. So business analyst will give you the requirement. Okay, and that requirement, like, it is a kind of the document, so you need to follow that particular document, and once you understand the requirement, you have to basically plan it. Okay, so before testing, you need to understand the requirement, and then you need to plan, and after planning, you need to write the cases. Okay, like how we write the cases for the bottle, same case you need to write the test cases. Okay, test cases. Once you write the test cases, and after that you need to execute manually. So suppose one of the test case is valid username and password. Okay, one of the test cases, let me erase this one. So one of the test case, suppose, let me share you all whole history. Wait a minute. Yeah. So let's think like first test case is valid username and valid password. This is my first test case. Okay. To check whether you are able to log in into the system or not, or the software or not. That is the first test case. Second test case is invalid username and valid password. Okay. Third one is invalid username and invalid password, and so on. Okay. So let's try to execute these test cases in the application. How we try to execute these test cases in the application manually. So valid username and password. Okay. What is valid username and password? Valid user is admin. Just copy and paste admin, and valid password is admin123. Copy this one and click on login. So check whether you are able to navigate to the home page of the application or not. Yes, I am able to navigate to the home page. Right now, log out the application, means this particular test case is pass. How this test case is pass? Because we are able to navigate to the app to home page. That's why it is pass. Now next is invalid username. So my invalid username is admin123, and invalid password, suppose admin12345, like this, and click on. So I think invalid username and valid password. So I will give valid password and invalid user. Click on login. So invalid credential, it means my application is working properly. So suppose for invalid username and valid password, suppose if I will get a home page, then it means this particular application is not working properly. So this case is also pass. Now next thing is invalid password and invalid this one, admin123, and invalid password also admin1234, and click on login. So I will again getting the invalid credential. It means that it is passed also. So like how we need to first understand the requirement. That requirement, basically it's a kind of the document. Okay, and that document will be given to the tester. Tester will understand it by reading the document. After that, the tester will plan it, and after planning they will write the test cases. Okay, and after writing the test cases, they will execute those test cases in the application manually, like how I have shown you, like 1 2 3 4, like this. Okay, and then you will get a pass fail result, and that pass fail result you have to incorporate in the template or in an Excel sheet, and that basically Excel sheet will be given to your business stakeholders, or you can given to the test sheet. So that is the overall work which the test engineer will perform. Now this is a manual work. Now the next thing is like the same thing you can perform with the automation also. So in automation, you need to, first of all, you need to learn Java, point number one, and second thing is you need to learn the Selenium. So after learning Java and Selenium, you will be able to automate all such things which I have done manually. Okay, but the scope of both the things are different. Scope of both the manual testing and automated testing is same. The reason behind that is everything cannot be automated. Point to be remember here, everything cannot be automated, but everything can be manually tested. What is the point I am telling to here? The concentrate. So I am telling the scope of manual testing and automation testing is same. Why? Because everything in software can be tested manually, can be tested manually, but but everything in software can't be tested automatically. Okay, so that's the point. So scope of the manual and the automation is same, but some of the company will recruit some person as an automation engineer in a good package, because they have their coding knowledge as well as the manual testing knowledge. That's but going to a automation testing is not possible directly. If you are a fresher, then you should know the concept of manual testing. After then only you will go to the automation testing. Okay, direct jump will not be possible. First of all, you need to understand manual testing and then you will go automation testing. Okay, is it clear so far? Any confusion? Any questions so far?
No, nothing, sir.
Okay, so apart from the whatever I have given you today, so apart from this, any question in your mind?
Nothing like that, but for my knowledge, which
Hmm.
language is most preferable in IT industry?
So basically, Java is important. I recommend Java for all the freshers, because if you
So
know
is it
Java,
enough?
then
Is it enough Java?
yeah, if you know Java, then that will be enough for your entire journey, for your entire IT journey. Yes, Java will be enough.
Okay.
Yeah, but Java is required for automation testing. But suppose if you don't do automation testing, if you simply want a job in IT industry, then you can have a manual testing and you can get a job easily. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So from a manual testing, any engineer can get a job. Any engineer can get a job from manual testing. I also got a job from manual testing only, and after that, like I excel my knowledge in Java, in automation, in REST API, in mobile automation, in SQL, in different languages basically. So I have excelled my knowledge accordingly. So other person also can do that by taking the courses, by taking the classes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we are good for today's session. So let me stop the recording.